Hey guys, it's Brad with Entrepreneur Secrets, and I wanted to take a minute just to talk about something that came up for me today when I was reading this book, the 30days.com, What Would You Do If You Lost Everything and You Had to Start Over to Save Yourself? And it's a book that comes with the One Funnel Away Challenge, and in the One Funnel Away Challenge, this is a challenge put together by Russell and his top coaches to help get you to that next level with your business, whether it's just starting your first funnel or your next funnel, right? Well, I'm reading the book, and as I'm reading it, I come across, and I'm literally on page, I bookmarked it here, I'm on page 14 in the book when I was rereading it here, and it just jumped out at me, and I turned to Cheyenne and I'm like, holy cow, Trey Llewellyn is detailing exactly, like step by step, what he would do if he had to start over. And now Trey Llewellyn is a massively successful online entrepreneur. And so as I'm reading this, he literally shares a strategy that is a strategy to sell t-shirts. And the way he would sell those t-shirts, and then he writes that this isn't a strategy on theory. It is literally a strategy that he did back in April of 2018. He was able to sell 5,571 shirts in 2 weeks and made over $117,000 at a $21 price point. He tells you exactly how to do that. And I'm sitting here with my mind blown going, holy cow, that's brilliant. But I've never once in my life, in my nearly 2 decades of being an entrepreneur, ever thought of doing that as a strategy. And Cheyenne looks at me and goes, it's because there's no way for us to know what we don't know. Like we don't know enough to even know what all the possibilities are that are out there to be done. And I start thinking about it, I'm like, man, that is so true. I hear it all the time, but it's never resonated more than it did today. You don't know what you don't know. And I'm looking at this, and it brought up a thought. It brought up the thought that I was talking with a CEO of a solar company on Sunday, and Christopher and I were talking, and I brought up the concept of you are the average of your 5 closest friends. Now, as we're talking about that, we were actually we were flying back from Nashville. We'd been at Funnel Hacking Live all weekend, had some amazing experiences, got our 2 Comma Club award there. And Cheyenne and I are talking with Christopher, and he's talking about how amazing it was to be at that. It was his first one, it was our second. And just being around people who are like-minded, business-minded and moving forward and trying to make bigger and better things for themselves and their families and their lives. And he said, I wish I could be around that all the time. And it brought this up, the average of your 5 closest friends. I was like, yeah, right? Because could you imagine being able to hang out with Russell all the time, the amazing stuff that comes out of his mind? Or we saw Dean Graziosi or Brendan Bouchard, and so many others. I could go on and on and on. Garrett J. White, right? We like just so many amazing people sharing their insights, their thoughts, their wisdom. And we were thinking, yeah, what if you could hang out with them all the time? Well, there are ways to do that, right? Exchange, be in a mastermind group, find something like that. But if you're just a guy from little old Utah like I am, and you don't have direct access to those guys, what I figured out a couple years ago is that I could source them into my life. And I actually thought about it when I was listening to the Tim Ferriss podcast, because Tim was talking about this, and he was saying, you got to choose wisely. Tony Robbins talks about this and it says you got to choose wisely. Be really careful who your closest 5 friends are, because you will become the average of them. Not the best of them, the average of them. And so it really struck me back then when I was listening to that Tim Ferriss podcast that the best way for me in Utah to on a daily basis, where I had a job, a business I work at and help run, and and everything I'm doing, a family, the best way for me to get in a position where I can level up my 5 and then therefore level up my average was by bringing them in through podcasts, through trainings and things like that. And so I started listening to the Tim Ferriss podcast, where he interviews the top performers of every scenario you can think of, from business to sports to anything, right? I started listening to his podcast. I started listening to Marketing Secrets, Russell's podcast. I've started taking challenges and trainings like the 30-day One Funnel Away challenge, and really just immersing myself with these people so that I can pick up a book like this and learn how to do a strategy with t-shirts that in 2 weeks I can make over $100,000. That, guys, is how you level up not only your business, but the average of who you are and who you hang around. You can do it just like that. Now, I will tell you, the One Funnel Away Challenge, it's closed. They just started a new one today, so you can't even get in it, but you can register for the next one so you don't miss it. Go to 30dayofa.com. 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 And you can get registered now for the next one. I promise you guys, you will thank me, but do what it takes. Whether it's a podcast, whether it's a book that teaches you very specific strategies on how to start from scratch, from zero, to saving your life, your family, your finances, or a podcast or a training. Take advantage of it. Level up your 5, and then we will see you on the right side of success.